How y'all doing, everybody? This is Ray of RebelEars.com with another episode of the Rebel Ears podcast, taken at the Treehouse, where it's popular for the Takeoff ATL that happens every Tuesday at 8 p.m., 485 Flat Shoals Avenue. Right now, I'm with a special guest, Rambo.
Yes,
So how you doing, man?
man, I'm good. I'm blessed.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I want to tell you, thank you starting off. When we first met, you was open to YL letting me come to the album release.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I love your energy. You're an amazing artist. I listened to the album, Preacher's Baby. It's a dope album.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Most definitely. Put a lot of work and time into that album, for sure. I'm just glad that, people are actually taking liking to it.
Yeah. I see it because when I see on social media people doing the dance,
Yeah.
it's a vibe. I really like that song. So you have a lot of family members who was a part of the album in itself. I heard that your father was on there. He was talking some wisdom on there.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
On a couple of my songs.
Yeah, so how did that come across where you wanted to involve your family with it?
So, as a child, my family has always been involved with music.
Yeah.
So they were the ones who brought me into music. I mean, well, it was like singing in the choir and stuff like that and playing the drums and everything.
Oh, starting off young.
Yeah. But then it got to a point where it was like, I'm tired of singing. I'm tired of being in the choir. I'm tired of doing everything that y'all doing. I want to be an artist. I want to rap.
Yeah.
And I kept telling them that constantly. I kept telling them that. And it was to the point where it was like, okay, I actually did stop singing in the choir. I actually did stop singing when everybody else was singing. And I actually did start doing what I said I was going to do. So even with that being said, my dad was who got me into it. And my mom was who got me into it. And of course, my sisters and brothers were there along with me along the way. So every time I heard a certain beat and I put lyrics on it, it just, something was speaking to me, and I just heard either my dad on the track or my mom on the track or my sisters and brothers or everybody on the track.
Yeah.
And it was like, why not do it with somebody else other than my family? Like the people that love me, the people that know me, the people who saw me from where I started to where I am now.
True support,
So that's just my support system. So I wouldn't imagine doing it with nobody else but my support system.
Yeah. That's what I like about it. Your family was there at the album release. I remember you had an emotional speech too, because it hit hard, because you was talking about the people who were in the room. They saw the start of the project to where it was at and how they've been involved too. I can speak from experience as an artist. It's a certain feeling when you start inviting people into your craft.
Most definitely. That's a different feeling for sure. And helping me perfect it is an even better feeling.
Yeah.
Because I could have said a certain type of way, but them giving me wisdom, because I done had talks with all of them, and I feel like you should stay doing this, or you should switch it up to doing this. And, I flipped it around and I tried everything that they was telling me to do, and it kind of perfected what I was already doing. Because at first it was just like, I'm a no-hook type of person. I can just go straight on. I can go straight on no hook.
Yeah.
And they was like, nah, man. Put a chorus on there, put a hook on there or something, man. You just going in there straight bars, man. You need something that people can sing along to. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. Because I personally wasn't doing that at first.
Yeah, you were comfortable with what you was doing.
Yeah, I was comfortable with just going straight in and just putting my emotions on the track. But they were saying, like, it's more than one way that you can put your emotions on the track.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
You just got to be open to it.
Yeah, you got to be open to it.
For sure.
I know an artist to this day. He hasn't featured one artist on his project, and he's been doing music for 10 years. Yeah.
That's how I'm trying to be.
Yo, what? No artist?
No artist.
Oh, straight J. Cole?
Look, man, straight J. Cole, straight YB. Unless it's my family, I can't really see myself.
Break out of that.
Yeah, I mean, it's for sure people that I would love to work with, but I just know me. Like,
it doesn't feel natural yet.
Nah, not yet.
Because I know it's like the engagement of like linking up with other artists, because now people just on social media, you don't really get that interaction, that engagement.
You don't get that face to face.
Yeah, because that makes a big difference. Now, speaking face to face, how did you link up with YL?
Man, so my little sister Shay, her grandmother, like they had this little showcase and she put me on.
Yeah.
So when I went to go see them in person, I met YL, I met Lee. So from that day forward, it was like I stayed in contact with him, and I've been wanting to get in the studio with him. Like I've been wanting to get in the studio with him.
Yeah.
I was just in the military, so it was like I couldn't just leave the military and go straight to the studio with Lee.
Obligations,
like, yeah. So like I kept texting him like, hey, when I come to the city, I'm gonna link up with you. We're gonna get in the studio and we're gonna make it happen. But a lot of things was transpiring. Like I had to go to Jacksonville for a show, and I had to do something else around the time where I was trying to get in the studio with him.
Yeah.
Because I knew when I wanted to drop my album, and I told Lee, like we both had an agreement. We both talked about it on how we was gonna drop it, how we was gonna record and everything. We talked about it. So I was telling him like, hey, when I get there, when I touch down, we're gonna hit the stew. And then from there it just took off. So from me meeting him to actually figuring out, oh, he's an engineer, okay, let me say something to him because I for sure need an engineer. And then from that day forward, it just took off from there, and now where we are now, we just locked in now for sure.
Yeah, and one thing YL told me, this is someone who I want to invest in personally, because I know for a fact he books a lot of sessions. He works with a lot of artists. There's artists that he give him his input in, they don't take it. Just like how you took your family members when it was coming to hooks, they wasn't open to changes, basically. So the artists, of course, they're stuck in, they don't want to perform with another artist, or they don't want to use this type of equipment or invest in this microphone, because a lot of artists, they can do this in-house, but when it comes into the mixing,
it's a different story.
Yeah. It's crazy because when I was hearing the harmonies on The Preacher's Baby, even when your father was talking, the atmosphere, you felt like you was captured because it felt like it was a story told. Yeah. Man,
that's really a part of the plan. Like, I want people to actually feel the music. I mean, and I know a lot of people ain't gonna really care about that because, that's just reality of music.
Yeah, everybody you can't please everybody.
Everybody not gonna really like your sound or what you're talking about.
But those people who mess with you, though, they're going to be paying to see you perform. They're going to be buying your merchandise, your gear. Man, I already see it because, like I said, the atmosphere that you had, you set the tone the whole time. I can't wait for the footage, too.
Man, look, the footage is coming. Gotta wait on that.
No, it's just funny.
Gotta wait on that.
No, that was funny.
I gotta get in tune with social media. My main thing, I gotta get into social media because I don't know. I'm not into social media at all.
Like I said, me too, because what I like about social media is engaging with people that you can't be close to. Like I was talking to YL not too long ago about coming here because I was gonna post it later on social media. Matter of fact, depending on how much time I have, I might upload this on Opus Clip on how quickly I could get in Google Drive because I'm creating a scheduling method for like any creatives because we all creative. It's just social media has taken the bulk of it. You can't even artists couldn't get signed without having X amount of followers. And there's so much talent out here, but then I realized it's talent and business. Yeah. Matter of fact, I'm excited for the project too. I know you and YL are gonna be recording shortly.
Yes, we finna get back in the studio. We finna get back in that mode. We just talked about it this past weekend. We finna get back in that mode. Y'all gonna see more.
Yeah.
For sure.
Now, one thing I like, because as an engineer and as an artist, I work with both sides. When you have that connection with the artist or the engineer, it just like flows smoothly. Yeah. Especially if y'all on the same page too.
I'm saying, like, even with me just now working with Lee this year, it feels like we've been working together for years. Like, he knows what sound I want. He knows everything that I need while I'm recording. He knows exactly what I want. Like, and then when he doing his mixes, he'll send it to me and be like, let me know what you want to change. Like, you ain't got to change nothing. That sound right there. You good. You know what I want. So me having that connection with Lee, like, it just makes me, like, making music more fun when it comes to going to the studio. Because, like, recently, well, I ain't gonna say recently, but in the past, like, I go to the studio, just go in here record. I already know he gonna mess this up and he gonna do all this to take up this much time.
It's not really a vibe. You don't feel the engagement of it.
No.
Yeah.
I just feel like I'm wasting my money.
Well, people should know this, but probably not. When it comes to being the engineer or the producer or the artist, you gotta think the artist is gonna gravitate towards how the engineer is feeling about what he's doing, because he might hear a line like, bruh, hear this right here, hear this effect. Yeah. And you like, keep that in there.
Facts.
That's how it should be, instead of like, what do you hear or what do you want? It should be more of a like partnership. And that's one side of like finding the person that you just click with. It just makes it a whole lot easier.
And that's for sure what I got with Lee. Like, we click a lot during the sessions. Like, he'll be like, hey, bro, do that over again and say it louder. Or he'll stop right there and then say this on that part. Like, all right, bet. Or change this up and then do it on this. All right, bet. Like, we just had that type of connection where we work hand in hand. Like, if I slip up on something, he gonna catch me. And then he gonna be like, hey, bro, just do it again. And then we get that rolling.
And that part right there, that's a difference from a good engineer, because some engineers, they'll hear you mess up, but of course it depends on if the artist want to keep it or not. But if you hear something that could actually improve the song itself, it's good to put your input on it, but it also depends if the artists have good constructive criticism.
Nah, facts.
Yeah,
Facts.
Because I noticed how, YL was talking about how you and him engaged in the studio. It was just like hand in hand. Mm-hmm. That's why I even wanted to come and shoot the whole footage, man. It was.
I'm telling you, it's a
felt
different experience, man.
Look, I ain't gonna lie, it felt like I was watching 3D, man. I was watching on the screen and watching real life, man. It was
facts.
It was dope.
I'm trying to tell you, the connection that I got with Lee, bro, I'm telling you, different. It's better than D Wade and LeBron. I'm trying to tell you. Better than D Wade and LeBron. I'm trying to tell you.
Now, we don't have to put no names in, but I remember it was either you or him, you was talking about there was an engineer who had like some of your past projects or something. We're not going to put no names, but would you like to talk a little about like, the situation in itself on what happened? I know it dealt with you getting your songs. Yeah.
Couldn't get them, like, at all. My songs, I couldn't get them from him. And it was one time we was in the studio. We were supposed to start at a certain time, and I pulled up before the time that we were supposed to start.
Like what, 10, 15 minutes early?
Yeah, I got there early.
Yeah.
He got there late. So he had to wait for somebody to come get something out the studio or something like that. So mind you, he used to tell me the time starts when we get together. So with him getting there and I'm already there, the time started right there.
When he got there, it started, or when you was there?
When he got there, the time started.
Well, I guess that's still wasting your time, though.
Exactly, because we're not even in the studio yet. We still got to walk in there.
Yeah.
And then we had to wait for somebody to unlock it and get their stuff out. And then I had to wait for him to set up, because his stuff wasn't set up in there.
That's an inconvenience on your creativity. He needed better time management, because with the time that you could have invested on, if everything was already set up and ready, he should have been there ahead of time. I know with YL, he's always there.
Always early.
Always early.
Always early. Promise you. Always early. I ain't beat him to not one studio session.
You trying to make it right? I'm going to beat him this time.
I'm telling you, and I made it a mission.
Look, you parked there, he like, man, I'm already set up.
Literally. He already sitting at the computer. He waiting on me to walk in. I'm like, all right, I can do this.
Probably with the song you just emailed him 30 minutes ago.
Literally.
Like, hey, you ready? What?
Literally. I got it set up already. You can go ahead. Okay.
That's how it's a different feeling when you have someone who's as prompt and engaged as you are. It makes the song better, because I can just tell from the other engineer, like you probably had good productions. You probably had, I don't know if you had a feature or not, but when it came to the project itself, you probably felt like you could have gave more out of it, but it was only part of you that was on it.
Yeah.
You do want to work with someone who can bring more out of you, so that makes sense, yeah.
But I was doing it on BandLab.
BandLab?
Yeah, it was cool. But I just wanted a better sound. That's all it was. I just wanted a better sound.
I can understand that. I know, I'm trying to remember, there's a video of this artist who created a hit single using BandLab with an iPhone headphone.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can make,
actually doing
there's no excuse. It's
actually a thing.
How creative you are.
Yeah, it's actually a thing. Me personally, I just didn't feel like my sound sounded right on BandLab. So being able to work with Lee, and he brought my sound to life.
Yeah.
You feel me? It's more of a blessing, for real. Because he actually knows what I want, and I don't even got to tell him. He just do it.
Yeah.
And that's all I could ever ask for in an engineer, for real. An engineer that actually knows what they're doing, and that actually wants to do it, and that actually has fun with doing it, but they're in business mode the whole time.
Yeah, putting his input in and just keeping, being open to whatever you want, but also be like, he would probably sometimes like, I don't know. Because I'll be walking in the session with him, I'll be like, you do want to bring something in that could make the project or the song or the vibe, whatever it is, to another level.
Nah, facts. And that's what he did. He took it to another level, for sure.
So while we're talking about this real quick, what's a favorite session of yours with YL?
Man, it had to be when homies and them my family had came to the studio. We recorded Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Man,
Yeah, I know.
I'm telling you, that was a fun session. We did, what was the other song? My Heart Belongs to You.
My heart belongs. Yeah, that
I'm
I like.
telling
You
you.
was riding the beat too, man. That was
Hey,
dope.
look,
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell you, you put me on the beat, I'm gonna ride it for sure.
Yeah. When it comes to your songs, who's the producer on those? How many producers, first off, on the project?
One that I know of.
One that you know of,
The
like
other
personally.
one, yeah. The other ones I just bought the beat off of YouTube all the time. But it's one person that made majority of the beats that are on that. No, two that
Two.
made majority of the beats that are on that album that I know personally.
That you know personally.
Yeah. So intro, Okay, Catch a Vibe, My Heart Belongs to You, Sleepless Nights. Yeah.
Those 5 songs, what?
Yeah, I know both the producers that made those beats to those songs.
Man, that's half the project.
It is.
You made it seem like 90% is YouTube.
Nah, look, the other ones is YouTube, but those
The main ones.
Yeah, the main ones are by the people that I know, and those are actually the most listened to songs on the album, literally.
That makes sense.
Oh, and Tired too. Tired. I know who made that beat. Tired. Yeah.
So what? There's 3 producers or 2 producers?
No, that's still 2, but that's 6 songs. I just forgot that one.
The main tracks on the projects, you know them personally, means it's like not just the engagement from the engineer, the engagement from the producers.
Yeah.
So with the producers, how did it work? Do y'all meet in a session or y'all talk?
Well, actually, one of them stays here. The other one I met in the military.
So it's more, that's dope.
Kendrick, I used to go to the gym with Kendrick.
Yeah.
So when I found out, I went to school with Kendrick, actually. I didn't know he made beats though. So we was
The
in
whole
the
time?
gym.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, we in the gym, and one day he was like, "Oh, still doing music?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Oh, I got some beats for you." All right.
It'd be like,
Okay.
I've been waiting.
Exactly. Like,
thank you.
You should have been said that. So he sent me the beat. The same day he sent me the beats.
Yeah.
I made a song to both of them the same day that
Which
he
ones?
sent them to me. Okay, and Catch a Vibe. Literally the same day he sent me those beats, I made a song to him. And I told him like, hey, can you slow this down? Can you add this part on there? Because at first, Catch a Vibe would have been like a 1 minute and 30-second song.
So
We had to extend it.
now, when you're talking about that, we're talking more in depth when it comes to exclusive rights, 4 track outs, not 2 tracks.
Oh, exclusive.
No, that's different because you could drop a line on there, take out the hi-hat, drums, instead of taking out the whole beat. Yeah. For those who probably don't know, because there's people who's new, 2 tracks and track out. 2 track is basically the producer sends you an MP3 or the wave of the beat itself. That's it. It's a 2 track. It's the left and right channel of the whole song. Now the full track outs, you get the drums, you get the kick, snare, hi-hat, every single instrument for the piano, the synth. If there's different sounds in there, it's all included, so you can really like create a masterpiece. Yeah.
Matter of fact, it's 7 songs.
Bruh. No, that's good
I just
though.
remember 7 songs where the beats were made by the both of them.
So 7 moments of engagements. No, it's nothing like, because of course, like what we was talking about, you can buy beats exclusively, non-exclusive. Non-exclusive means you don't have a right. When he said exclusive, when we said exclusive, that means he has the right. It can't be sold to anybody else. Yeah, so yeah, exclusive.
I got the rights to them beats.
So when it comes to buying an exclusive, that means you're investing in yourself, knowing for the fact you can take it higher than you wanted to.
Most definitely. But with them right there, that's me. That's
like
me.
it though.
I'm telling you, that's me. It ain't no second guessing, ain't no giving it to nobody else. That's me. Simple.
Yeah, that's dope. Now, because I talked to you before we started the podcast, and YL told me about it earlier. He said that there was a contest for, and break down the whole story on what happened.
Look, I'm gonna keep it so 100 with you, because the day of, I ain't gonna lie to you, I wasn't really feeling it. I mean, I was ready, but I wasn't feeling it. So
What was it? The crowd or the participation?
the environment, the participation for sure, like just, and where it was at.
Sketchy.
Very.
No, very.
I ain't gonna lie to you.
Like you probably looking like, I'm gonna stick to the wall.
Man, yes, bro. Like I stayed in one spot the whole time before I performed. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
So we get in there. No, we pull up and we walking up to it. So we talking to security, you know, the security was like, he told us how much it was to get in, and I told him why I'm performing.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, well, yeah, you can get in for free, but everybody else got to pay. So I'm looking at them, and we looking at him, like, this my crew still got to pay? And he was like, yeah, your crew still got to pay. So, all right. Went ahead, paid them. Everybody, we walking in. It's everybody on this side of the room, like, because all the pool tables and everything over there, and it's like 3 sections on the left side and a small stage with a stripping pole on it. So I'm like, what?
I'm sorry, just how you described it, bro. I'm just thinking like,
look, bro. I'm describing it to a T. It was 3 sections and the DJ booth, and in front of it was a stripper pole on a square stage. Kid you not.
square space.
I kid you not, on a square stage, a stripper pole. So I'm looking at my homies and my dad and them. I'm like, where am I supposed to perform at? And look, I'm like, I think we at the wrong spot because this ain't it.
Yeah.
So the promoter or whoever it was, I guess they got there late or something.
Yeah.
Because we was in there waiting for at least 30 minutes. Like at least 30 minutes before somebody came up to me and was like, oh, yeah, go talk to this person, go send the DJ your songs. And the DJ got there late. So we was just sitting there, like just talking and drinking and eating wings for like 30 minutes. Not even gonna lie to you. So when they finally got there, food was good as hell. I ain't gonna lie to you. Food was good as hell. I'll go back for the food. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, okay.
So when I'm talking to the DJ, I gave him my songs. A man approached me. I guess he was the one that was gonna be like calling
the host or the promoter. Yeah.
He asked me my name, age, and what do I want people to take from my music. So I told him
he going in depth with it.
I told him everything but the part that kind of messed me up, that made me like just turn off from the whole performance, when I told him what I wanted people to take from music, I told him first and foremost, I want people to catch a vibe.
Yeah.
Cause you feel me? I got a different sound, so I want people to be able to vibe to it, have fun.
Have that upbeat energy.
Yeah, you feel me?
Be comfortable.
Exactly.
Like, have a good time.
Exactly. I want people
have a good time.
Exactly. I want people to catch a vibe to the music. Secondly, I want people to actually hear it.
Yeah.
Because, you know, folks they don't listen to the lyrics. They just listening to the beat. So they not really hearing the song. They just hearing the beat. They like the song because of the beat hard.
Yeah, you got to put movement to the words and the beat.
Exactly. Like, that's the main thing going on in the industry right now, bro.
Yeah.
Everybody just listening to the beats. I can't mess with that. So as I was telling her, I was like, look, I just want people to understand my words, hear my words. I want people to feel me. So he put the pen down and he just sat back. And he was like, you know what, let me stop you real quick. I hear everything you're saying, everything sound good, but we don't give a fuck about that shit. Look, man, I was like, what? And I stepped back because I was in arm's reach of him.
Yeah, you felt a certain way.
Yeah.
Anybody who's passionate about what they do, they will feel a certain way, especially you speak negative towards what you do.
So I don't know. When he told me that, like, I knew I had to step back because he would have said one more wrong thing, it would have been a problem. So I stepped back and I was like, what you mean by that? He was like, man, this the industry. As long as you got a good song and a good beat, we gonna like it. But wanting to hear all the words and all that other shit, we don't really care about that. Just keep that to yourself next time. I was like, for sure. I just kept it pushing.
Okay, yeah.
I just kept it pushing. So I went back to the side. I told my folks what they had said because my cousins and my brothers and them was there. So I told them what had happened. I told them what he had said. And they was like, what you want to do? Like, we ain't gonna partake in that. I'm just perform and we gonna skedaddle. Simple. Yeah. So I think I was like the third or fourth person to go.
Yeah.
They introduced me, got the mic. I started performing. After I performed, he walks up to me. Man, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. That shit so hard.
Same guy. I ain't trying to hear all that. Hey, I was listening.
Swear to God. I gave him the mic and I walked off. Like, bro, don't talk to me, bro. You just said we'll give a fuck about that shit. Okay.
You could have, like, just dropped it.
Exactly. I really could have just dropped the mic in his face. But me being a man, being respectful, I just gave him the mic and I turned around. Like, I don't got nothing to say to you, bro.
Yeah.
But then whole time, so it was 2 judges, like, in the section behind the pole.
Yeah.
Whatever. Bro, that wasn't even the stage, bro. That was just a pole, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. It was just a pole.
The stage was the ground.
Yes, because that's all we was walking around was the ground.
And you see the pole, like, right next to you, like.
I'm telling you. Yeah. So I was watching the judges, like, the whole time. From the first performance, my performance, to the last performance, I was watching the judges. So it was a female judge and a man judge. You know, the man, some of the songs that folks was performing, you know, he was
vibing
his
to
head
it. Yeah.
to it. The woman, the entire time. Now, 2 of my songs, she was, feel me, like calm.
Yeah.
But the last song, she just stood there. So I'm like, all right.
And you
cool.
know what? It's like she got the poker face. She could be tapping her foot away. She'd be like,
Hey, whole time. Whole time. But look, I'm telling you, I watched body
You kept that
movement.
composure though. Yeah, you already know like, okay,
I-
this is the secret.
Exactly. I had to keep watching. So it was one contestant. I have nothing against the LGBTQ. Nothing. I have nothing against them. It was a gay man that went and performed, and the whole performance, she was over there the whole entire performance. So I'm like, okay.
Wait.
After he got done performing, they was like, tell him to come over here. So I'm like, she ain't do that to nobody else but him. But mind you,
Yeah.
his face wasn't on neither one of the posters, like of people that was performing. They brought him in to just come perform. They brought him in.
Yeah.
He wasn't on none of the featured posters of people that were supposed to
He was
perform.
signed there?
No. The people the promoters, they walked him in there personally. Like, they knew him.
Okay, yeah.
Everybody knew him. They all knew him.
I know. Yeah. I hear
So
about that.
after they did that, I told them, I was like, bro, I lost.
You lost.
I was like, bro, like, he won. They was like, what you mean? I was like, they just sent him over there to go talk to the judge. Bro, they're all sitting over there laughing on the phone, sharing social medias and shit. He won. I'm out the picture. Like, we can go ahead and go after the last performance.
Yeah.
They was like, nah, bro, just stay. I was like, I'm going to stay. But I'm telling you, he won. So all the performances go by. I'm not going to lie to you. I know good music and I know non-good music. Some of the songs were good, but the other ones, it's just like, okay, bro, are you done? Like, next person. Come on.
Yeah.
Next person. Nobody is vibing with you right now. Like, these folks was walking around the whole building, standing on tables, laying down on tables, and nobody was bopping their head. Nobody. It's like,
Yeah.
all right, next person. You're doing too much. You're reaching now. Next person. But, of course, as an artist, you're going to think your music is good.
You want to be open to what's out there. Yeah.
Exactly.
You can tell like, nah, this ain't it. What people like, hey, that's what they like.
They
It's just
didn't know
not for
that.
me.
They didn't know that wasn't it. So we get to the end. They had a special guest that came and performed. He was good. He was a singer. He wasn't rapping or nothing like that. He was singing. So after he did his little thing, they called 3 people to the stage, first, second, and third place. So they called one man, the other man that I told you that they was talking to or whatnot.
Yeah, she was talking to you.
Yeah. And then they called me last. So how it went, from what was told to me, they usually let the judges decide who wins. But this time it didn't go like that. Because he was going to win if the judges had to decide. He was going to win. But they let the crowd decide.
That's smart. Give them what they want.
And that's when shit.
Give them what they want.
Yeah. So they called my name. All you hear is Rambo.
I bet she was like this.
Yep.
She was like, the whole time you performed, you probably should have looked at her like,
yeah. The whole time when they saying my name, I'm standing there like this.
ready. You already,
Just
you already
humble.
knew.
I'm humble with it. I'm just standing there like this. Because I know.
The proof's in itself.
You feel me? I know for sure I had the best performance. Regardless of me not jumping on tables and laying down on tables and doing splits and shit, I know for sure I had the best performance.
Yeah.
Hands down. So everybody was saying my name, and then they got to the second person, they screamed or whatever. They got to the other person, a lot of people didn't really do it. So then they said it was a tie. So I looked at the lady like, bro, it's not a tie. You heard everybody in here saying my name. So she was like, let's do it again. So she put her hand over my head and it got louder this time. You just heard Rambo Heen throughout. If you was standing outside, you could hear them saying my name.
Yeah.
Literally. And then they did the second person, it wasn't as loud. So then she looked at the judge and the judge was like, so she was like, well, I guess we have our winner, Rambo Heen, the other dude, and then the last dude. So I was like, all right, let me just get this money so I can go. I'm gonna be humble about it. I'm not gonna jump around or none of that shit. I'm just go ahead and get my money. We gonna go. So the 2 dudes that was on stage, they was like, no, matter of fact, the one that won second place at the end of his performance, and I quote, he said, and I quote, ain't none of y'all niggas fucking with my music.
Couldn't just take the loss.
You could have just got off the stage. You didn't have to say that in the mic, bro. You didn't have to do that.
Could have taken the loss.
You didn't have to do that. He said, and I quote, ain't none of y'all niggas fucking with my music. All right, cool. You could have been humble, but you took the route that you took. So when we was on stage, he was like, yeah, man, you got a different sound. Your songs is so good. I looked at him. I said, I thought I wasn't fucking with your music. And I walked off. Like, don't try to kiss up to me now because you got second. You looked me dead in my face while you said that. Like, bro, come on.
Yeah.
You ain't got to do all that, bro.
Yeah, but hey, congratulations first off.
Most definitely.
Congratulations.
I appreciate it.
Try to make it seem like it's about the talent.
Yeah.
Because the people are going to want what they want, especially if you know how to bring it across straight from the studio to listening to it so many times that you already have your stage presence. As soon as you perform it, it's natural.
Man, I just feel like I'm a natural performer. Like, I've been doing it for so long. Like, my stage presence, you're gonna feel me regardless. My stage presence is exciting. I'm gonna move around, I'm gonna interact with you. You gonna feel me when I'm doing my songs. Like, that's just how I am. I'm a performer. I've been doing it for the longest. But I'm humble with it. Like, I'm not finna sit here and not nobody else's music. Like, I'm not finna, you feel me?
Open.
I'm not finna do all that. I'm not finna tell nobody to their face, or your music not as good as mine. So everybody got their own sounds, and everybody has their own crowd that they can please. Regardless if I don't like it, the next man might. Yeah. So who am I to tell somebody, oh, your music not good? That's my opinion. Everybody got opinions, but that don't mean that's not gonna
maybe listen to you.
Exactly.
That's kind of somebody probably like, nah, I couldn't.
Man, look, I'm telling you, if I was to listen to people's opinions on my music, I would not be where I am right now.
But you are open to constructive criticism from what we talked about, which makes you open. I heard this before, well, I use it a lot, so you can learn from everybody. You believe that?
Most definitely.
Yeah, you can learn stupid stuff. You can see somebody be like, nah, I see it all the time. But it makes me open because I like to hear what people opinion on a certain situation, because it might be something that I'll be like, oh, but yeah, it's just gotta be cautious.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, I can say, as of recently, it's a woman named Macy. Within the time of me knowing her, I probably learned the most from her. Now, I could have been arrogant and like every time she told me something, I could have neglected it, or I could have just not listened. But I know from what she has been telling me and what she's trying to tell me is doing nothing but trying to make me better as a person, as a man, as an artist, whatever the case may be. She's just trying to make me better. Like my dad, my mom, Lee too. Like I done had a couple talks with Lee, sitting in the studio. I done had a couple talks with Lee.
Y'all have that one-on-one. That's the best music, when you can actually be vulnerable in the studio. Because of course you laying aside that a lot of people don't know, but you feel comfortable enough to like do it in that close space.
Nah, facts. Cause when I made Tired, the intro, boy, I'm trying to tell you, like it took everything in me to like not break down. I ain't gonna lie to you, cause that was just something that I've been wanted to say. It wasn't everything of what I wanted to say, but it's what I wanted to say. So, you feel me? It's like, man, for Lee to have been there, to see that, to produce that, to be like, hey, I feel that. Like, that's just love at the end of the day, so.
Yeah, I respect that too, because I know how we work. That's why we've been, like, business partners for years, because we always thought on, you know, not just to incorporate what we can, but how can we be open enough to capture the artist's dream.
Facts.
Yeah, that's how it should be.
That's how it should be, but that's how it should be, but it's not like that a lot. But that's really how it should be for sure. That's why I forever rock with Lee when it comes to choosing my engineer, forever.
And the last thing I do want to say, because I remember the last thing I did tell him while we was out, like when we was leaving the album release, when I try to remember if Lee sent you the files. Yeah, I remember right before leaving, because y'all was going to a party to celebrate. Y'all were going somewhere else. Straight from the studio to the party, man. That was crazy. It was a celebration, though. It was the release, and when you release a creative project that you are happy with, that's a celebration in itself. I saw artists just releasing nothing. Yeah, it's a moment, man.
I'm telling you, that's a moment to celebrate for sure.
Yeah, but the last thing I did tell Lee was, like, you want to work with him long term, and I see why. I want to do as much as I can to see what we can do. That's why, you know, I wanted for you to come out to the podcast and take off. You're the first person I recorded here. You know, this place has memories. I already see you performing here multiple times already. Yeah, you're going to be jumping, going crazy.
I'm be here for sure.
But once again, I appreciate you coming here, man.
Most definitely. I appreciate you for having me.
So for everybody who needs to know, to get here to this location, 485 Flat Shoals Avenue, Treehouse in East Atlanta Village. I'm at Takeoff ATL, so many artists. The owner of this venue is actually the owner of this clothing line I'm wearing, Crown Me. Shout out to the brand. Other than that, want to tell everybody thank you for listening and watching. Keep tuning in.